not my
Can you hear me?
Can you see me? I can't see you.
Hi. Can you hear me?
It's definitely your connection, it's not mine.
Hello.
I can't hear anything.
Can you see me?
You there?
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Well, I can't see you.
hear
So I don't know what you're doing right now.
Hello.
It's definitely your connection.
Can you see me? Right? I
Can you
really
see me?
can't
I
hear you.
literally can't even hear a word you're saying.
Can you hear me?
Can you come on?
Live?
It's your
Can't see
connection.
you.
Hello? I'll just wait.
Wondering what's going on.
It says connected.
Can't hear you.
I can't hear you at all. I can't hear you at all.
Hello?
Live?
Hello. Hey.
Like, you're still not coming back. Live?
Hello.
Can you hear me? I don't think it's your connection.
I really can't see
I
you.
might say full bars, so.
Live?
3G on.
Reboot your computer again.
No, I think it's your Wi-Fi, not mine.
Your Wi-Fi is not working, mate.
Mute.
Hello. Welcome. Good evening. I'm a representative of Fidelis. Now, George Barnden, would you mind having a chat with me?
Yeah, sure.
Hello, George. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. How are you?
Brilliant. I'm good, thank you. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about your social media presence.
Okay, go for it.
So what sorts of social media do you use?
Well, I'm not, I have the Instagram, on Facebook, Snapchat, I'm a bit of a simpleton, really. Yeah.
And what sorts of things do you output onto those platforms?
Well, tends to be just, pictures of me being a bit of a, bit of a knob, but, yeah, not much, to be honest.
So is there anything that you may not want on the internet that's already out there?
Well, there's basic stuff, you wouldn't want, pictures of unspeakable things out there, would you? For example, that wouldn't be, convenient, but
Of course not. And here at Fidelis, we basically, after you've passed away, we ask if you have a close member of your family or a close friend who you would actually lay the responsibility on them to decide what you keep online after you've passed away. Would that be something you would do?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, as long as it
Brilliant.
wasn't my brother, then yeah,
Thank you very much for talking with me, George.
that's right.
Hi, Ben Willie, are you there? Can we have a chat? Is that all right?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, I'm a representative of Fidelis as well, and I was wondering, would you like to have a chat about your social media presence? Is that okay?
Yeah, love that.
Okay, so what types of social media do you have?
The usual Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, pretty standard.
Brilliant. And is there anything on there which you would rather not remain after you've passed away?
Not that I can think of. No.
Good. Now, at Fidelis, we kind of control your data legacy if you choose to work with us. And would you choose to remove everything from your social media once you've passed away, or would you keep it all there and preserve it?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I don't know, really.
It is a big question, and that's why some people choose to leave it to a trusted friend or family member. And is there anyone you can think of if you couldn't make that decision?
I don't know. Perhaps my sister will go with.
Excellent. Thank you so much for talking.
No worries.
Merida, are you here?
Yes, hello.
Hello, do you mind having a chat with me?
Yeah, of course.
Brilliant. So as previously mentioned, have you actually ever considered what might happen to your social media after you die?
No, never.
No, it's quite a weird question, isn't it? It gets you thinking. And is there anyone who you would give that responsibility to?
Possibly a friend.
That's very interesting. And as we've said before, is there anything which you might have outputted into the ether, into the internet, that you might not want out there?
No, don't think so.
That's very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, please could I ask everyone to mute yourselves if you haven't done so already, switch to gallery view and turn to page 1. Thank you.
Listen, I mean, I could be anybody. I mean, any of us could be anybody, don't you think? To everyone else here, I sort of am anybody. You know, when you spend a lot of time on your own in isolation, you don't always get a sense of how completely unspecial you are until you're around other people. And when they ignore you, not unkindly, I'm not saying that, it's just, but that's when you find out. Hello, hi, my name's Terry.
My name's Terry.
My name's Terry.
My name's Terry.
My name's Terry. My name's Terry.
My name's Terry. This is me. Sort of as close as anyone can get to not just being anybody, but actually being nobody. I'm not nobody, I know, but I'm sort of nobody in particular. I'm just a girl in a square box on Zoom.
I suppose it depends who else is looking. If they're looking at me the way I look at others. Is anybody actually, are you for that matter looking? Look around. What do you see? All of these faces. Snapshot of life at home.
Easy one first. Look around, see if you can find her. She's Ginger. And I don't know if her name actually is Becca, but that's what her handle is. So I can guess that's what her name really is. And, you know, I have no real idea of who she is, what her life is, but I get a little glimpse of it on Zoom. And it's incredible because there's also Georgie, for example, and I have no idea about anything about her life, but I see her on Zoom. You can see her pink chair. She's wearing a little headscarf or something, I don't know. But we see her on Zoom and it's incredible. You get a little picture of people's lives at home. Or there's someone up there called iPad. Now, I have no idea who this person is. Their name isn't even written. And it's this kind of mysterious aspect of their lives which makes it so incredible. Because we all come on here and it's incredible because no one knows anything about anyone else, but this is where we all come.
What did everyone do before they discovered Zoom? Sit at home, I suppose, and suffer in silence. Now we come here and suffer together. I have this app. I put on my headphones and I listen to the sounds of a waterfall. It's good. You can toggle the birds on and off depending on what you fancy.
I get my regular peppermint tea and my regular bottle of water and I write. Or I try to write. Or I wait until I'm able to write. Or I just wait. And I'm watching all of these other people wait. You. Maybe I'm watching you wait. What are you waiting for, I wonder? Yeah, you.
Or you, cookie cutter, teenager. Yeah, you, I'm looking at you. Stuck in Godalming and saving up for something better. Yeah, I know you. I might even become you. What's coming down the track for you then?
We're all in a square box that doubles as a metaphor for life or something. Here we are, that's all. That's what we do. We come here to be together, alone together, every day. Not everybody every day, but people like us every day. It feels like we're going to be here forever. Except, what's coming down the track for us? What's coming directly towards us out of a clear blue sky? That thing, that's going to turn out to be an explosion. But for now, the only sound it makes is... Yes, Nilam, I'm fine, thanks. But more to the point, are you okay? Because something seems to be preventing you from typing full words like an adult. When did your life become so busy that... Jesus.
And I'm sort of wondering how Nilam drifted away. Or maybe I drifted away. We used to be so, what's the word?
Entangled.
We used to be so tangled up in each other. I don't know what happened, but something must have. I mean, she slept in my bed at least once or twice when she was too drunk to go home, and I'm talking years ago, like back in uni, and nothing happened, but it's not nothing, you know? Sleeping in someone's bed, and there must have been some kind of accidental disentangling, and now it feels like I shouldn't have put that kiss on the end of my text. Like I leaned over and kissed her in the wrong moment, and it didn't feel right, but she started it. She was thinking of me for no reason. I just popped into her head. Who knows what heads any one of us has been popping up into right now, all over the place. And I'm thinking about a whole compilation album of heads that I've been popping up into, and I get another message.
It's Frankie coming online. Have I seen Frankie since Pride Before Last?
Have I seen Frankie since Pride Before Last?
Our gloriously big-mouthed friend who's so absurdly opinionated, I always used to call him Frankie Says. That's a joke for the old folks out there. Where did Frankie go? And why am I not processing this message?
And why am I not processing this message?
I've just heard I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, something's happening. Something's happening or has happened, and Frankie said, and Nilam's heard, and I've not heard. What haven't I heard?
What haven't I heard?
Minutes.
1 minute.
I'm waiting minutes and Frankie doesn't say.
2 minutes.
Doesn't say. And my mind wanders back through Frankie and Nilam and college. And my first kiss and my 14th birthday and back and back.
3 minutes.
Through when I was 6 and we spent half term in holiday in Wales looking at sheep. And like so many little watercolour blots of amnesia in the distance.
10 minutes.
And it rained. And rained. And I remember the pounding in my heart.
30 minutes.
The first time I ever heard my mother say the word
34 minutes.
cloudburst.
Hi, love. Let me know if you need to talk. I'm here for you.
Not sure what to
I just
say.
saw on
Thinking of
Facebook.
you.
Probably got
I'm not really sure what to say. I'm here for you if you need.
Hi, love.
Just
I
heard
just saw on Facebook, and I'm not really sure what to say. I'm here for you if you need. I just saw on Facebook, and I'm not really sure what to say. I'm here for you if you need.
I couldn't find quiet, I wanted the rain. I was just soaking my head, pulling right on my brain. Somebody said you disappeared in a crowd. I didn't understand that, I don't understand that. Am I the one you think about when you're sitting in your fainting chair drinking painkillers?
To begin with, I can't remember anything. Not a thing. Nothing. I can't even picture his face. I mean, okay, he's dead. I get it. But it's so much more than that. He's so unbelievably gone.
It was bad enough before, just being left when he left me. 9 years we were together. Knew each other as friends for 2 years before that. 3,000 times I reckon I woke up next to him and looked at his face, looked at it, watched it, stared at it, learned it by heart. His face. Took it in, every aspect, every contour of it, every impossible angle. I mean, that's how it is to begin with, isn't it? You want to somehow bless and keep each imperfection. You want to kiss each pixel that makes him less daunting to lie next to.
Over time, of course, you start joining the dots, and after you've been with someone that long, you can hardly bear the curve of his lip anymore, because it reminds you about what he said about your roast potatoes or the roller blinds in the guest bedroom. But this is something else altogether, though. It's like a stage hypnotist has completely erased him from my memory.
When I click my fingers and you wake up, you will have no recollection of Luca.
No visual recall whatsoever. That man you woke up to almost every day for all of those years. And then, after he walked out on you, you woke up next to the absence of him. For months, the lack of him. And you stared at that instead, that lack, that nothing. And you took it in and you learned it. The untroubled pillow next to yours, the no breathing to synchronize with. Instead of the smell of his sweat, his scent, his skin, God, the smell of thin air, fake vanilla and cotton wool. Like a nothing that has obliterated everything else. But here we are, at the beginning of a whole new absence. A deeper, denser, richer nothing.
No face, no scent, not so much as an echo to wink at.
This here would have been his passport photo that we laughed at together, because he was sucking in his cheeks like some model out of L'Uomo Vogue, and but I just can't picture it.
And this would have been us together at the beach of Bexhill, because I wanted to see an exhibition at the pavilion, and Luca thought beach meant sun and boys and everything, but I still remember him smiling all the time, all the same, like 10 times more than me, and I can't picture it.
But I just can't picture it.
And this would be us with his nephew's dog. I embarrassed myself all day long because the dog's called Felix and the nephew's called Dexter, and I kept getting them mixed up. In fact, I'm still not sure that's the right way round. And then Luca sulked for days because I said we couldn't get a dog. But I don't know what that looks like.
I can't picture it.
But I just can't picture it.
And this is 10 seconds after he kissed me, in front of a flaming pink sunset in Lisbon on his birthday. Nope, not a clue. And this is after he broke his arm, and some drag queen that he was crazy about signed it. And I love the glee of it. The fucking glee. God, I loved him so much. Jesus Christ, and I nagged him all the way home too. That bike, I said, that bike will be the death of you.
No idea. I've no idea what any of this looks like. It's like there's a huge white wall in the way and everything's happening on the other side of it.
And they're cutting the clothes off him in A&E, and they're asking him, can you feel this? Or this?
They're wiping a tear from his cheek.
They're telling Maria they're going to take the best care of her son.
The second hand on the slow clock. I can imagine that. That's one face that I can picture. And then they're rushing him down the corridor on the other side of the white wall.
They're calling to each other in extravagant polysyllabic lexicons. They're trying to restart his heart to the point of exhaustion. They are trying.
I can't see any of it.
Tell you what I can see. I can see his reading glasses. 6 weeks before he left me, he got a new pair of glasses, like completely out of the blue. Didn't ask me, didn't say, just showed up one night with a new pair of glasses. He said...
What do you think?
I said, they're nice. And then he said...
Really, what do you think?
I said, "You don't look like you." And then after he left, I found his old pair in the drawer where we used to put things we didn't know what to do with. I opened the case and there they were, neatly folded, looking up at me. Now I'm next to him, even though he didn't sleep in his glasses, because I could picture his face with them on, I could picture it with them off. Bare-faced Luca, who I loved and who left me. And now at last, everyone understands how I felt, because now he's left them too.
I don't wanna hear about any other lovers. I don't wanna mess around underneath the covers with anyone that isn't you, 'cause you're beautiful and we're suitable. I don't wanna hear about any other lovers.
You have one email from Tim.
The 11th condolence email comes with a picture attached. It's from Tim, who was originally my friend, and then he was our friend, and then he was Luca's friend. Now apparently he's my friend again. Now Tim's a
performance artist.
A performance artist, yes, which isn't something many people have the nerve to say about themselves after the age of 35, so you've got to give him that. But he teaches
mostly
to pay the rent, but he's still fuming because this year
they merged the performance modules.
Yeah, and he teaches with something called
Digital and Pervasive Media Arts.
And this is someone who can barely even work a toaster. So he's sent me this picture, and as you can see, he's making them all hold hands. I'm surprised you're even allowed to do that these days. But he makes the students hold hands, he says, to remind them. He says that digital means pertaining to fingers. Digital, he says, means using whatever digits we have possible in order to touch each other.
Well, he sounds ridiculous.
He sounds creepy, is what he sounds.
But his students adore him.
Poor fuckers.
Tim is the 11th condolence email.
You have one email from Fidelis.
And then there's a 12th. And it's not like any of the others.
Dear Terry, firstly, on behalf of everyone here at Fidelis Legacy Solutions, may I offer our deepest condolences of the loss of your partner, Luca Palmer. This email is sent to you as you are the certified legacy manager for Luca. Please watch our welcome video to learn what you can do as executive manager. Please download our app to access your executive dashboard. We look forward to working with you, and once again, our condolences for your loss. Yours, Simon Lewis Jones, Executive Manager, Fidelis Legacy Solutions.
Losing a loved one is never easy. Here at Fidelis Legacy Solutions, we aim to help you through this difficult time.
Your loved one has appointed you as their online legacy executor. This means you now have 90 days in which to make a decision as to how their online presence is being managed moving forward. All of their social media and cloud assets are bundled together in their Fidelis account. And we are here every step of the way, whether your decision is to preserve or discontinue any or all of their assets. How does it work? It's simple.
Step 1. Just download the Fidelis app from the link in your welcome email, which will take you to your executive homepage. Step 2. Take your time to remember, explore and connect with your lost loved one. Step 3. Simply decide which assets you want to keep for friends and family to continue to enjoy, and which ones you want to delete. Our dedicated team are here to help every step of the way through our easy-to-use online chat. Are you ready?
At first, I'm basically just assuming it's an admin error, but there's a feeling in my stomach that knows otherwise. Then it starts to come back to me, this creepy, washed out memory, a year or 15 months ago. A Sunday morning, there's white bed linen and the muffled sound of gangster rap from the next door flat. I'm eating a nectarine for breakfast and we're reading the Sunday papers. I'm reading an actual newspaper and, well, Luca's reading the same one off of his tablet, which says it all really, doesn't it? But he's annoying me by reading out extracts from this online article about your online digital legacy services. And I'm saying, yeah. And he's saying,
it's so interesting.
And I'm saying, yeah. And he's saying,
we should think about this.
And I'm saying, yeah. And he says,
stop saying yeah.
I'm saying, well, I've got the exact same article in front of me. You don't need to keep reading things out to me like you're Charles Dickens at Christmas. And he says,
will you be my digital executor?
And I say, yeah. And I take another bite of my nectarine I've been having for breakfast. And then I say, baby, you're gonna live forever. And he gets up and starts dancing around the bedroom and singing the song from Fame.
Hello. I'm so sorry I'm not able to take your call just now. Perhaps you'd be kind enough to leave a message after the beep. Thank you very much indeed.
Maria, it's Terry again. I'm sorry. I owe you an apology. I'm sorry that didn't go as planned earlier. This must be so hard for you. You're his mum. What I was trying to say was, this is such an absurd situation. After he left, Luca and I were not on very good terms. We just weren't. I'm not saying there wasn't still love there. You don't just switch it off, do you? But I promise, I barely registered what he was saying when he asked me to be his online legacy executor. If I would have known what was going to happen, I would have not said yes. But more to the point, if Luca had known what was going to happen, there's no way he would have asked me in the first place. Look, I know these Fidelis people won't transfer the account over to you and Hector, but I'd be very grateful if you contact them again. I really shouldn't be in this position, Maria. It's not fair on anyone.
I mean, I know it's meaningless to talk about what's fair or not in this situation. It's obviously not fair on you that he's gone.
God, I'm not even listening to myself anymore. As I leave this self-justifying message for Luca's mum, I'm not even hearing my own voice.
He'd made the decision to live his life away from me. That was the reality. So I can't see why it should revert to me in this situation just because of some oversight that doesn't really add up to anything more than he didn't know he was going to die.
My mind is racing as though this thing were important when it couldn't be less so.
I mean, obviously he did. No, that's what appointing an executor obviously means. That you know you're going to die someday.
Trying to remember the last thing we said to each other. It must have been angry. They would have been angry words, no? I didn't want to be angry. I wanted to be cool and somehow rise above, but he'd make some cruel remark or be petty or thoughtless, or he'd smile or be too kind for the moment, and I'd be angry.
But we all know, and at the same time we all don't. And we all don't know in such different ways, and we're all wrong in different ways, and I don't see how I can make any decisions on that basis. How can I be the one who makes this decision when I'm as wrong as anyone and I don't know either? I don't.
Mostly, of course, he was just gone. Not there anymore. Not even a silence, like the kind you can dig down into and grow something there. So to be honest, the anger was almost a relief. and I'm still angry. And I know that now that he's dead, there might never be a resolution. I might never not be angry. But that's the thought that starts to flip it all. Because even as I'm sitting here telling Maria, no, I'm not going to be the one to decide what remains of him online, I'm thinking that if I can just hold this space, if I can come closer to this weird virtual afterlife, then maybe there'd be a way of forgiving him, or acknowledging, or accepting, or it could be a gift.
Look, I know I'm just sort of babbling now, and I won't keep you. I just wanted to say again how sorry I am. I'm sorry that he's gone, and I'm sorry there's an aftermath to that. But he left me, and that's as clear a sign as anyone could have right now that if there's anyone who shouldn't be picking up pieces of this, it's me. There are 7.5 billion people on this planet who we didn't fucking walk out on, and any one of them is better placed to make decisions about his online legacy than I fucking am. I'm sorry for swearing, and I'm sorry for taking up all your voicemail space. I'm just really sorry, Maria. And look, if I can ever...
This mailbox is full. To listen back to your message, please press 1. To re-record your message, press 2. To leave a new message, press 3. To hear these options again...
I've been making a start. I promised Maria I would. She said,
just make a start, dear. See how you get on.
So I've been looking through Luca's Facebook.
There was a period of my life where this would be something I would do almost obsessively. That period where we were turning from friends into the other thing. I dare say I've got a bit stalkery even after he left me, but he was sensible enough to block me. I was actually grateful, even at the time. I thought that's the nicest thing you've done in ages. So it's all new. Everything from the last 7 months is all new to me. And I'm scrolling up, and I'm breathing in and out, and it's fine. It's actually fine. This isn't going to be as hard as I thought it was going to be. And then there's just this one photo.
One photo, and he's holding a balloon. And he's smiling like a kid on the first day of the holidays. And he's wearing that Snoopy versus the Red Baron t-shirt that he told me he'd stop wearing because he'd gotten too big for it, which actually he has. And he's smiling and all that, and he's got a touch of red eye from the flash, but mostly he's holding a balloon. He's flanked by 3 people, and they're all doing poses that say what fun we're having at this popular night spot. What incredible fun. I mean, there are tongues out and arms all over the place. And they're all having such fun, and Luca is holding a balloon. I never saw him hold a balloon. And now I realise what I'm feeling is indignant, because this photo is essentially an accusation. What did I do? What was it that I actively did that made him feel unable to hold a balloon around me? Is that why he left me? So we could feel that spring in his fingers. Well, here he is again, with the same people having chips at the end of the party. Except there is no balloon. Maybe he's let go of it. Or maybe it's burst.
This is why I don't do balloons. You're setting yourself up for a terrible loss. I mean, I don't know any of the other people in this photo. They're young and sort of avid looking. They look like they just that minute came off the stage from representing Latvia at the Eurovision. Luca has the same look in his eye that he'd get after he scoffed a whole bag of Tanfastics in under 20 minutes. Whatever it was that made his eyes go like this on that night, I'd bet all the money in my pocket that it was not Haribo. God, of course he left me. Me with my complicated tuneless indie bands, my 2 glasses of wine, my podcast, and my Saturday night devotion to BBC4.
And then there's this photo of him doing a half marathon. At least I knew about that. The cheeky sod asked me to sponsor him, and I said I wouldn't. And then I did. And here he is, crossing the line at the end of the race.
And here he is by a fountain which doesn't look English, with the caption, "Make a wish," which I just don't get, I'm sorry.
And here he is outside Bikram Yoga with a boy he's tagged as Peach Fuzz. And here he is asleep in the departures lounge with drool running down his chin. And this photo's been liked more times than Candle in the Wind. And here he is in Hyde Park with a frisbee between his teeth. And here, and here, and here, and here he is in a club and there's a bubble machine or some table football or something. And here he is dancing with his top off and... Wait a minute. What is wrong with that photo? Chest hair. He no longer has chest hair. And here he is with another 4 or 7 random Latvians, and here, and here, and here he is, and he's holding a fucking orange balloon. And he looks so happy.
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 And here he is, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here he is, but the point is he isn't. There is no is, there is no he, there is no here.
Luca left me. And then he left everyone else. And there is no here anymore. In fact, he's no more present than a balloon that you might just let go of and watch disappear into a complicated sky.
Blackness hangs overhead like a cloud. Don't worry, darling, 'cause I'm here with you. Don't worry, darling, the sun will shine through. When you wake up and you don't know what day it is.
Listen, what would you do? I don't mean in my position. I don't mean what would you do if somebody asked you to be their digital executor. I just mean, what would you do with all your online stuff? Your emails and your Facebook and your Instagram and your Twitter and the curious remnants of your MySpace that still show up after you Google yourself, which you still do from time to time, though you know as well as I do, that way madness lies.
Imagine that at the time of your death, at that very moment, you can press a button, yeah? Next to your bed, you can press this big red button. Yes, it's a bed death, a very orderly bed death, lucky you. And in this moment, when you press that button, every online fragment of you, every piece of your virtual existence, every essence of your human frame that was ever released into the world in a cloudburst of warriors and heroes is gone.
It can all disappear with your final breath, or it can outlive you. It can remain to say who you were, if that's who you were, so that as long as the digital cosmos survives, you survive and you'll never be forgiven.
Forgotten.
Did I say forgiven? I meant forgotten. Forgotten.
So, do you? Reach out and push the button.
Do not go gentle.
That's Dylan Thomas. Horse shit, I say.
I've done enough raging to last me a lifetime. I'll take gentle in the end, that much I know. What I can't figure out is what is the gentler thing, the less rageful thing. To push the button.
Or not to push it.
See, I keep getting lost in this spiral, and I have to remind myself that no such button actually exists.
And then I have to remind myself that it does. Kind of. I mean, that's the button Luca is daring me to press.
Or not.
Not for me, but for him. God, I just don't understand it. Why would he give me that? I was going to say power. Why would he give me that power? But no, it doesn't feel like a power. It feels like a sharp sort of weakness. Why would he give me that weakness?
The days feel longer than they probably are. And when the waterfall app is loud enough in my head to drown everything out, it has this strangely soporific effect. And the scrolling, man, the endless scrolling through so many images and so many words. And time feels very liquid, like this slow liquid.
I think on the edge of Luca, maybe. On the edge would head first into too much information.
And on the artificial a little more detail.
Terry, I can't hear you, Terry.
The artificial birds, and hope that a little more detail might be something to say hello to. Hello, birds. I'm very convinced it is as far as algorithms go.
And then I'm falling. I'm not falling from diving, plummeting. From 4 feet away, you'd hardly be able to tell I was breathing. I was still at my table in my seat. And actually, I'm not breathing. I'm holding my breath till the moment of impact, when my body hits the surface of the water, of the image.
And like some hauntingly complex Mensa puzzle, I'm outside myself on the inside. I'm watching myself hit the infinity pool, and I'm counting the ripples outwards, going on and on and on, uncontainable. My body suddenly slower still, time slowing to a standstill. Calling birds, too far away to count. This body of water is depthless. It's not really water, but data.
And I'm swimming and sinking at the same time. I'm resisting and I'm letting it take me. I'm falling through light and liquid crystal, falling in slow motion through endless, edgeless code, and I'm letting myself be drowned in this. There's no feeling of peril, just a reassuring quiet. All the sounds far away in an impossible distance, and I know exactly where I am. The perfectly rendered underwater city, full of bioluminescent creatures, and I'm the least impressive stranger here. Or maybe this is a new kind of sleep, one that's never been done before, and there are no instructions yet for waking up.
I want to be someone else, so I'll explode. Floating upon the surface for the bird.
Okay, I'm back in the room. And today, instead of my usual fare, I have a chai latte and a lemon and poppy seed muffin. Because I'm not the one who died, all right? And asserting that fact into the universe is sometimes more important than the fact that I don't like chai lattes. and this muffin is disgusting. It's so disgusting. It tastes like someone sprayed deodorant onto a bandage. It is so disgusting.
I'm keeping my head down. there's a lot to do. My increasingly persistent friend, Simon Lewis Jones of Fidelis Bloody Grief Monetization Inc. has written to remind me that I still haven't gone through Luca's Twitter.
When I die, any second out, that muffin's as lethal as it tastes. Whatever poor bastard it falls to manage my digital legacy will have all of 5 tweets to troll through. First of which, one rainy Sunday afternoon in October 2013 said, testing, testing. The second said, well, here I am. Except it didn't. The third said, well, here I am. The second said, well, her I am.
The fourth said, thanks at Lucapalooza for showing me how to delete, but I'm going to preserve my mistake for posterity. The fifth one said, I've never been so happy in my life, I swear. It's all downhill from here.
Luca, on the other hand, managed to leave this world just shy of 33,000 tweets, at which I worked out an average around 11 words per tweet. Luca's Twitter output is roughly the same length as the brothers of Karamazov. So I do the tediously inevitable. It literally takes hours to scroll to the beginning. Luca was the first person I knew on Twitter, always an early adopter. He had it a month before we even slept together. He showed me on his new swanky MacBook Air. I assured him with the fact Twitter was never going to catch on.
Who would want to broadcast endless drivel about their personal lives? Who would want to know anything about my life or yours?
But now, of course, I want to know. I want to know how our first night together shows up on his timeline. So I'm scrolling and it doesn't take long to find the date. Not the date of the shag. The date of the morning after.
There's a link to a video by some twinky French pop star he liked that I'd never heard of. This totally middle-of-the-road piano pop ballad guy. It always fascinated me, his fascination with this kid. Right, it didn't fascinate or mystify me after I saw the kid.
Never thought I could feel so alive. Never thought that my life would be turning around. I didn't know you were going to arrive.
But this music, like chewing gum that half the world has chewed all the taste out of before it gets as far as your mouth. I won't lie to you. I was proper crestfallen for a moment there. And then I realized I copied the link without reading the tweet. The tweet says,
Good morning, waking up into a new world. Wink.
and I think, oh, love.
Oh, love.
Oh, love.
And then I think, wait, is that even about me? I checked the timestamp and yeah, I'm pretty sure he tweeted this while I was in the shower. That was real. That was a real thing that happened.
I'm scrolling up, and I'm wondering how the story gets told. The story of our lives slowly, gradually entwining. I'm thinking about the landmarks by which I used to measure that time, when we just started to share our lives. I'm thinking about that Thai meal we had when he told me his middle name and I laughed so hard I had an entire broccoli out my nose. Or that ill-advised day trip to Southend when everything was shut. But none of it's there. Okay, well no, none of it. There is a photo of him with his tom yum soup saying yes yum, but none of the rest.
There's a tweet from Laurent Mercier saying he doesn't care about labels like gay and straight. I'm looking for the time we went shopping for hanging baskets, and that afternoon I thought he was the most handsome man I'd ever seen. But here's an unfunny Garfield cartoon and 4 different tweets about Jeremy Paxman's hair.
I'm looking for when we hired bicycles and went for a long ride just because we were together. But here's a photo of Luca holding up a vuvuzela and pointing at it. And here's a gif of Laura Mercier laughing next to a camel. And here's Laura Mercier singing a song that sounds like a dog pissing on some fucking cardboard.
and hears fuck all about my dad's funeral.
And here's James Franco being a cockhole about anything. And here's Lauren fucking Mercier singing his piano ballad, which sounds like punching a fucking robot in the face with a fist made out of candy floss. And it goes on, this ballad.
This is a new world, chérie. And the new star shines above.
And on and on. And here's Luca and his stupid pal shop mirror shades laughing at nothing. And on goes this ballad, and he's so incredibly and touchably alive. And I realise I'm crying. I'm crying my eyes out here. Because suddenly, Lauren Mercier is singing to me. It's about me.
Shiny and new, dans un nouveau monde. Tout est frais dans le nouveau monde. This is a new world, baby.
I buy wine. I buy 4 bottles of wine, which feels like panic buying, which is sort of exactly what it is. So I get home, I open a bottle and I pour myself a glass. And it's good. It's very good. It's fine. It's cheap. Okay, it's good enough. I make grilled cheese and a little light salad on the side, which I know I won't eat. This is all about the cheese and the wine. Not all 4 bottles, no, just 1.5 and a bit, and then bed.
I badly need a dream sequence. It's one of those nights when, for some reason, you notice how unnecessarily big the bed is. So I lie myself diagonally across, like a road sign that says, no loneliness. I turn off my phone for once. How do I expect to sleep? My phone's still awake.
I'm drunk and I'm queasy and I'm incredibly tired, but also my brain's still churning. So I start to count backwards from 300. That's always been my trick since I was a kid. Every time you lose track, you have to go back to the start. 300, 299, 298, 297.
I've left the window open and I can hear the rain getting heavier as I count. For a moment, around about 255, I start to get confused. I start to think that it's actually the counting backwards that's making the rain go harder. I stopped counting. I want to put on the radio, but my arms won't do it. My brain makes up a radio interview with my dad, and just for a moment, he's smiling, even on the radio, and he's saying, "Never forget, old son, you can only walk halfway into the woods. After that, you're just walking out again." 300, 299, 298, 297.
I can hear excited ducks in the distance, like really far away, like in France. 211, 212, 200. Hang on a minute, I'm going in the wrong direction here. 212. No, do it properly. And in that moment, Nora Jones appears at my door, glowing.
It doesn't look like Nora Jones. But then I don't think I actually know what Nora Jones looks like. So she looks like Sheryl Crow, but I know she's Nora Jones. There's no escaping you.
How do you think I feel?
I know we're going to be great friends. I feel really calm with Nora Jones watching over me.
So, are you going to push the button?
How can I? How can I be expected to choose what survives?
It's what he asked of you.
We've been apart for 6 months and it was horrible between us.
Well, 6 months. That's a long time for him to change his mind. Just because you're not with someone anymore, it doesn't mean that you don't know them better than themselves, even.
But if I knew him as well as all that, then I'd know what he wanted me to do, but I haven't got a clue.
Well, but maybe he didn't have a clue either. Maybe he knew he could trust you with this task because you'd understand the complexity of it.
But I don't think I do, Nora. Well, I get that it's complex, but that's not the same as understanding the complexities. Far away, the ducks make a collected noise. Like they get what I'm saying.
Well, I feel for you. You know, this responsibility you've been given, it's kind of like my 2015 collaboration with Keith Richards. You know, it's an honor to be asked to do it, but actually getting it done is a pain in the chuff.
The rain starts to sound like a small, sad audience. I think I might go to sleep now. I'm a wee bit drunk and I think I'm ready for my drink.
Good night. God bless.
Nora smiles. She turns to go, but she hesitates.
Before you sleep, I just wanted to say.
She puts her arm out towards me. She opens out her fingers, and there on the palm of her hand is a wet, fat snail.
Lean in.
And in a low, careful voice, the snail says,
"Death is a story told by the living."
I look at the snail. The snail looks at me. The snail shrugs. Don't ask me how. Nora? Nora, I think your connection's gone. Are you still there? I can't hear you. Nora?
Switching on. In hope. There. In the nick of time. Switching on as immigrants, as hospital orderlies, as sex workers and teaching assistants, and switching on as cat lovers and, well, unpaid carers, tarnished saints, sadomasochists. Switching on the radio so quietly I can barely hear it. To hear the man say about the weather today, or the death yesterday and that tributes have been paid. Switching on in love, in fear, in defiance. Switching on because you're not switching on, forgetting to. Switching on to make breakfast for the kids, or switching on to pray, to masturbate, to have a piss and then go back to bed.
Far away people switching on lights. Here we are, that's all. That's what we do, day after day. Planning our perfect suicides by the perfect light of our unshockable phones. The suicides we'll never commit. Time to face my own day. I don't take my phone out of my pocket, but I switch it on and it vibrates to tell me it's woken up. Then, after a minute or so, it vibrates again.
You have one new message from Maria.
Dear Terry, no cause for alarm, but I thought I should let you know I'm in hospital just in case you needed to get hold of me for any reason. Home before too long, I hope. Love, Maria.
I Google Takotsubo syndrome.
Takotsubo syndrome is a reversible heart failure syndrome that is recognised in modern cardiology for patients who have acute cardiac chest pain.
The name Takotsubo reflects the resemblance of the left ventricle at end diastole to octopus pots of Japanese fishermen in the Hiroshima fish markets.
The heart suddenly becomes weak. The left ventricle changes shape, it stretches and balloons out. From the inside, you think that you're having a heart attack. You have chest pain, shortness of breath.
Many alternative names have been used, including stress or stress-induced cardiomyopathy, apical ballooning syndrome, or broken heart syndrome in the context of bereavement.
Broken heart syndrome. Serious doctors call it that. When I get to the hospital, Maria's asleep and her mouth's a little bit open, and the kid in me just 100% wants to pop a Malteser in that little gap. She's had an angiogram and an MRI, and she's going to be okay. She's not going to die. Well, at least not from this. Not today. When I got there, she has lots of cables on her, lots of machines, and I don't like them, but I'm glad they're there. She should have all the machines. There's this one machine that's making this ping noise, which is the exact same sound that my emails used to make on my old computer. So she's sleeping and all I can hear is,
"You've got mail.
You've got mail.
You've got mail."
An elderly woman in the corridor opposite starts to wail, and it's just enough to wake Maria up. She opens her eyes and she looks at me, but it takes a while for her to actually see me. And for a moment, I'm worried that she can't speak or see or something, but she's just processing. Just waking up in an unfamiliar room, an unfamiliar bed. Tell me about it. After a while, she says,
"Oh,
hello, Maria.
hello. Oh,
I'm so sorry to hear that you've been in the wars."
dear you."
And she reaches out her hand to me, the one not attached to any of the cables or anything, and she can't reach far, but it's enough. And I do the same. I reach my hand out and just touch my fingers to hers, just mine underneath hers.
It's very gentle and it makes no sound, but information is rushing from my body into hers, coursing through hers into mine, gigabytes and gigabytes of data.
Instructions for not dying yet.
How to do patience.
Equanimity.
Piano music by Schubert.
1,000 images of Barbary macaques.
Adrenaline.
Mid-ventricular ballooning.
The shipping forecast.
How not to scream in the middle of the night when there's no intruder.
The proper names of British birds.
Songs about birds.
Proverbs about birds.
How to actually just look at birds.
Our fingers, the lightest of touch. We talk a little about the Fidelis thing. I'm okay, I say. Though I wonder if she can hear the catch in my voice. And for some stupid reason, I bring up Southend. Just pops into my head. Everything was shut, I say.
He told me about it. He didn't mind. He was so proud to have you on his arm. He felt safe with you.
And some idiotic part of me wants to take that as an insult. Because wasn't that what he walked out on? To be with young, beautiful Latvians, to do shots of this and lines of that and ironic 80s pop. Wasn't it feeling safe what he couldn't have done another minute?
He was so lost without you.
Yeah, I know.
God, I wish he was still alive so I could strangle him. A nurse starts to fuss around us and it feels like time to go. I don't want to let go of her fingers, but they're barely touching at all. I can't even really tell at what point I let go.
Dear Terry.
The way she says it sounds like she's starting to dictate a postcard to her secretary.
Keep him safe.
I'm at home in the end. For some reason, I don't know why, I'd always thought I was got to be in a cafe somewhere, but I'm not. I'm sitting on my bed. The laptop's taking a while to boot up. When I got home from the hospital, I made myself a cup of tea, but I'm not hanging around. I log into my Fidelis account.
There are all Luca's digital assets. Itemised. Categorised. I read through the whole list. 34 different bundles of information. Years and years of Luca finding different ways of processing the world. Reaching out, placing himself within it, making friends, being the beautiful man that he was. Before me, with me, after me.
Are you sure you want to delete the selected items? This cannot be undone.
Yes, I'm sure. Thank you for asking.
You have no items.
And snow, just a way to figure out her. Don't delete my baby, don't defeat her still. In the quiet of nothing, to the hands of grace. Don't delete my baby, don't defeat her.
I wonder, can we just talk? Do you want to take these off?
Hi, it's only me. I don't know what to say, really. Just that I wanted to say it to you. I wanted the words to travel through the air. I'm sorry I hogged the limelight. There's any number of people out there who will tell you that that's all me.
Maria's home and she's convalescing. I think she hates me. I want to sit down with her and say death is a story told by the living, and something else I think I know that a little snail didn't tell me. It's not what you keep that defines who you are, it's the things that you let go.
So listen, you don't have to do this. This is just, I don't know, just an invitation. And I'm talking to everyone now, everyone watching at home as well. Would you maybe just reach out like this and put your fingers on someone else's fingers?
Gently. Take a risk. You don't have to, but if you'd like to offer out the invitation to anyone around you, just touch your fingers gently. They're just digits, right?
Now let that be what we do for a while. I'm going to go now. I'll let you decide.
When you're ready to stop touching, you can stop.
And when you stop, that'll be the end of the story.
Take as long as you like.
Thanks for being here.
Stay safe.
Where are we? What the hell is going on? The dust has only just begun to fall. Crop circles in the carpet, sinking feeling. Spin me round again and rub my eyes. This can't be happening when busy streets, a mess with people would stop to hold their heads heavy. Hide and seek, trains and souls.